Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this video Alberta in Crisis. Before I start, I'd like to touch on a little history and give an overview of where our movement was and where we are today. Before going on, understand everyone, no matter what you hear or what you read, our movement continues to grow daily. The people of Alberta are irate and we are serious. For me, this venture has been a personal element. It's given me the opportunity to give back with an equal opportunity to also pay it forward, something I'm a big proponent of doing. Alberta, Calgary specifically, has been very good to me during my career, and I have a deep sense of gratitude. I feel compelled to do my part to see that others will have that same opportunity that were given to me. My quest will be fulfilled when Alberta tables a referendum for autonomy. Going back, the first task with the inception of AIM, the Alberta Independence Movement, back in late October of 2015, was to successfully unify the Facebook separation groups after that disastrous general election. A discussion took place among the various page admins, and with the exception of one, we all agreed to unite. The growth of our ensuing membership exploded. I recall closing our first night with AIM having just 132 members. Now today, AIM and our Alberta Independence Movement page, we have 12 other dedicated groups with a combined following of over 40,000 in Western Canada. We have still more separation supporters in our eastern pages in Ontario and Quebec. Our message, make no mistake, is Canada-wide. Along our adventure, we learned that unfortunately growth also breeds egos that can grow at a faster pace. Being the central focus of attention and the self-appointed leader of a movement becomes intoxicating to some. We have seen this happen several times in our growth, and unfortunately, a few individuals have briefly curtailed our growth and even stalled a signature drive. Many recall we had occasional examples where people abandoned us to start another group, incredibly exactly like the group they were leaving. There was nothing different. It was the same agenda that we had already built. The sole difference was who the recognition was focused on. Their policies and their plans remained the same. The only difference is these individuals were able to call themselves the leader and command special attention. Conversely, we wanted a grassroots movement where everyone had a voice and an opportunity to effect a positive change. We do not believe in a system where just one leads and is the center of attention, and the desires of members or voters come second. That type of party is best left to the ways of parties like the UCP and federal Liberals and the NDP. Those who have been with us for any time know this movement has never been about self-edification. It's always been about the collective needs of the people of Alberta. No member has ever claimed to lead this agenda. We began this movement with a stated mission. We were going to either find a qualified leader to develop a registered party, or we were going to support a registered party that would address our needs and carry our member policies forward. This was and continues to be the foundation of our movement. So now, moving ahead, if nothing else from this video, understand Alberta has entered a time-critical era. This cannot be played down nor understated. The people and our economy are under an attack. It's important to know the job losses in the disappearing resource industry is not market influenced. It's the policy driven and pushed by our own federal government. The energy industries in Denver, Houston, and Dallas are exploding. Alberta's economy should be performing the same, but our central government and even our own countrymen have turned against us with economic crippling policies. Alberta is living in an artificial, government-induced economic slumping environment as desired by those to our east. If we were to eliminate current federal policies, essentially govern ourselves, we could join the flourishing economies I just mentioned. We have a choice before us. Do we submit? Do we lay down and forfeit our standard of living? Do we allow the government to change our culture? I hear so many ask, do we have options? The short answer is, legally, yes, but we need to be united. Together, we have built an impressive founding movement that is productive for Alberta, but we do not have time to keep breaking down and trying to reinvent a political wheel. We now have that wheel, and it's already spinning. This constant divide and fail in search of self-importance has to stop, and it has to stop now, or Alberta will fail. Our option lies with a registered party which emerged last November that upholds our membership desires. The party, some of you may know, is called the Alberta Advantage Party. The Alberta Advantage Party offers Alberta a solid constitution and political experience. This experience is absolutely crucial for us to move ahead. Combining their experience and member-favored policies is not offered in any other registered party. The Alberta Advantage Party platform features an important hardline position that Alberta, our people, our economy, must come first. The party has offered recall legislation policy from their formation. The party is truly grassroots and would be directed by the voters, not a single leader. The Alberta Advantage Party is so committed to this policy, even the party leader is subject to recall. The party also offers what so many of our members have called for, a policy for a referendum. The Alberta Advantage Party referendum policy can be sponsored by any citizen, not just the government. Again, the voter, the everyday person, you and me on the street can have a say. The question is, if an Alberta registered party now exists, a party that will take instructions from the people, the voter, and also offer the policies we want in a government, what is the need for other parties to spring up? What's their agenda or motive? That only ensures divide and fail. Is that what they want? Failure? Why do some want to keep taking steps backward and try reinventing what's already now achieved? How does this serve the common good for all? Or is this yet another agenda for fame? I keep coming back to the same reason. People want to be seen as a group or party leader. They want recognition first, and the needs of the Alberta people are secondary. People want personal media attention. Ego is the least desired attribute we need in any aspiring leader now. If any of these people are so sure of themselves, then why not continue building an already registered party and challenge for the leadership of the registered party? Why continue striving to register yet another party just so we can all hear the chant, "Don't split the vote once again"? The Alberta Advantage Party Constitution gives us all the right to challenge for the leadership. One simply must be elected on merit, not solely appointed on group ownership. An aspiring leader must present their vision and a path to a seasoned group of members, and if they present the best option, they would be democratically elected to lead the party. Do these people have concerns they would not stand up under scrutiny in a democratic membership vote? It makes little sense for any of these groups to continue trying to form yet another party to compete with the same policies that are already in place with a registered party. What is more remarkable is some people are actually saying we need to unite to form a party. We have united. We have a party now. Think for a moment how little sense that makes. Alberta has just endured a "Don't Split the Vote" campaign, and here we are right back being presented with what could be yet another. Again, I ask the question, why duplicate policies? Why divide unified support? How many comments do I see saying we need to unify? We have unified. Now is the time to grow. We have everything in place we set out to accomplish. A registered party, a constitution, a slate of policies, experience Do these groups not want recall legislation as we have now? Do they not want a solid referendum policy as we have now? Do they not want experience as we have now? Do they not want unification? Rather than create yet another division, why not address any concerning policies they do not like in a membership AGM? The Alberta Advantage Party ensures a democratic process exists to change things you disagree with. It's called a membership vote. Even in today's economy, it's affordable at just $10 for the year. After almost 4 years of taking 3 steps forward and 2 back, why are there still those trying to divide, stall, or derail progress? There can only be 2 reasons: self-gratification or to ensure division and failure. What positive purpose served essentially duplicating what now exists? In the past, how's that worked out? Here's a few questions I'd like to hear answered, assuming these groups are supporting separation. Has anyone asked any of these groups or parties if they've stated openly what they disagree with concerning the Alberta Advantage Party policy on referendums or any other policy in their platform? Has anyone asked any of these groups or party figureheads if they thought to express their concerns or propose amendments at the next Alberta Advantage Party AGM rather than dilute party support? Has anyone asked any of these group leaders promoting separation if they fully understand the Clarity Act and the Supreme Court decision on the path to separation? What is their group or party's plan to get several provinces to simultaneously vote the same manner in order to capture the clear majority of voters and not dilute the percentage of votes needed as defined by the Supreme Court? Every province votes different from the next. They always have. Has anyone asked if these groups or parties understand the procedure to a proclamation of referendum? Do they even know what it is or how to effect it? Do these groups or parties understand the times a referendum can be brought forward and the times it can't? Do these groups or parties understand the strict wording rules for a referendum? Do these groups or parties understand how to address the Governor and Council to consider a referendum questioning the Constitution of Canada? There are more than 30 precise steps that must be strictly adhered to before a referendum can be heard in the House of Commons. What is the next step if successful? Do these parties know that? Understand, we are not playing a game. This is not about who gets media attention and who is seen in the papers and the press. This is not about who gets to play king of the castle and sit on the throne. This is about the survival and prosperity of a province and the livelihood of more than 4.3 million people. Consider this. Why did Quebec dedicate so much time and their money and their resources on a referendum if it's as simple as these groups or parties would like you to believe? In the past years, I've had personal conversations with the person who may be considered to be the apex of authority in referendums. I'm humbled by this person's knowledge, their experience, and place in Canadian history. The more I learned, the more I realized just what I didn't know and needed to learn. The task ahead may sound impossible, but it isn't. Autonomy can be accomplished despite the many steps that must be navigated. It requires unity and devotion from all. One simple idea keeps me focused. We must all be unified. This is not the time for egotistic divisions from any group or person. Anything less than unity in Alberta is doomed to fail. You need to understand. I said moments ago, the Alberta people and our economy is under a policy-driven attack. We have known for decades Alberta does not conform to Ottawa or in general the thinking of the East. We would never elect one so unqualified to manage a mailroom, never mind a country. We have uttered for decades that Alberta needs to claim autonomy, so much so that Ottawa has become immune to their chant. They now believe it's just the wind blowing in from the west. We are now clearly out of time to take action. It's time to unify and dispense with the power trips. I ask you all, please share this with your friends, your family, and coworkers. I'll post resource links below for you to join us and build our voice together. Thank you.